All right, welcome back to Currency 365. Okay, so this article is saying the man or the men behind the curtain are being revealed. Says CEO says real world pricing to return to gold and silver markets. Now, I talked about this was it the day I returned? When did I return from my little 2 day break? Okay, that was Sunday. Okay, I think I talked about this Sunday, either Sunday or Saturday or yesterday. Either one of the 2 days. I can't remember if it was Sunday or Monday. But anyways, we're gonna talk about it in full detail here today. Okay. And before we start, as you see here, it says CEO says real world pricing to return to gold and silver. Now, why would somebody say that? Why aren't the prices of gold and silver at their real prices like they're supposed to be? Oh, well, there's these group of people that, run the world, and they don't want gold and silver at the right prices because they're buying them all up. Okay, they want to buy all the gold and silver up at cheap prices, and they don't want the gold and silver to go up to the real prices, because they're still buying. Okay, and this is why, it says here the men behind the curtain are being revealed. Okay, so these people that are manipulating the gold and silver price, especially silver. My goodness, silver prices are have been manipulated for about what, 10 years, kept low on purpose. Man, because they want to buy it all up. They want to buy all of it up. The elites don't use currency most of the time. Most of the time, the elites are not using currency. What they do is they'll take their they have gold and silver. They have gold, silver, and other precious metals, maybe some platinum, things of that nature. They'll take that, and when they go to different countries that they go visit, they'll take their gold, and then they'll have their gold exchanged for that country's currency. That's how they do business. They drive in private planes, so you never see them. Okay, and then they exchange their gold and silver for the country's currency, so they can do shop. They can shop and things of that nature. Because of course, gold and silver you can't really use in the malls or in private malls or whatever the case may be, in shops and things of that nature. So they need the country's currency, or they need U.S. dollars, because U.S. dollars and euros are accepted almost every country. Okay, so around the world, so they can just exchange their gold and silver for euros or dollars. Okay, and soon you'll be able to do that for China as well once they are activated in the SDRs. China, gold back yuan, or whatever the case may be. You'll be able to, exchange your gold for the yuan as well in most countries, especially Africa, because the Chinese yuan will be all over Africa. Okay, China is going to be really China basically China wants to take over Africa. Okay. I mean that's point blank. Let's just keep it simple. China wants Africa, and they're going to be taking over Africa by forcing them to use the Chinese yuan, and go back Chinese yuan. Maybe it might be. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's good for Africa to do that, but I'm just saying that, let people breathe, man. You know what I mean? Let people breathe. First it was the Europeans, then, and then is the Americans that are basically Europeans, right? And now there's the Asians that want to control Africa. Goodness gracious, you know what I mean? So let the country breathe, my dude. And I know some of you guys feel the same exact way, regardless of your color, race, culture, whatever. You feel for people in Africa who are continually to be controlled by Europeans, Americans, or now Chinese, okay, or Asians. But yeah, this is an interesting article because it says CEO says real pricing will return for the gold and silver markets, and this is one of the big reasons why I have partnership with BitGold, right? And I do my BitGold, and I always tell you guys about BitGold, and it's not just BitGold; it's just any gold savings account. Okay, anybody that can apply. I don't know too many of them. I know one, the Peter Schiff has one, and I know BitGo. I don't know really any other platforms where for gold. I'm pretty sure there is. I know there's Gold Money, but that is BitGold, right? Gold Money and BitGold, are the same people. So Yeah, that's why I bring you that, so you guys can make sure you have a savings account in gold. Okay, because they're going to be changing and fixing the prices of gold and silver to their real prices. And where did I say that their real prices are should be right now? Okay, so gold's real price should be at $3,000 an ounce. Okay, that is gold's real price basically right now. It should be at $3,000 an ounce. Okay, silver's price right now should be around well, if gold's at 3,000, silver should be at 300, really. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna keep it at the low end. I'm gonna say 100 to 300 an ounce is where silver should be right now. Okay, so silver should be at 100 to $300 an ounce. Gold should be at $3,000 an ounce. Now, looking in the next 5 years, I believe silver will be at around $100 to $300 an ounce, and I believe gold will be at about $5,000 an ounce in the next 3 to 5 years. Okay, maybe even higher. Some of you guys are thinking 10,000 in the next 5 years, man. I don't know. I think that I don't know. It could never. You never know what could happen. Okay, but I'm not gonna go that far. I'm just gonna say I believe so. Gold should be in the next 5 years. It should be able to hit 5,000 an ounce. Okay, and I believe silver should be able to hit anywhere between $100 to $300 an ounce in the next 5 years. Okay. Um. Okay. So it says here, astute observers of financial markets, especially in the precious metals sector, have long argued that small concentration of major market players have been manipulating asset prices. Now, this is not just silver and gold. This is all asset prices. And we saw it in the Panama Papers. That revealed a lot of stuff as well. But also there's been a lot of banks that have finally come out and say, okay, we are manipulating the prices of silver and gold. And this is one of the reasons why China has got into the game with the Shanghai Composite to fix gold prices so they can compete with New York and London with the gold prices. Okay, and then one day soon here, China is going to actually take over the world's gold prices. Okay, like we see America does. Okay, so that's why we know the gold is going to go skyrocketing, because China is going to be doing the gold prices. And what does China do to their citizens? China has their citizens buying gold. So we know that China is going to want their citizens to be wealthy. So they're going to raise the gold prices, okay? Tremendously, because that will benefit their people, because the Western world isn't telling their citizens to buy gold. China is. Okay, so if China's going to be fixing the gold prices, they're going to want the gold prices to go up, because they know that the Western world isn't educating their people to buy gold, but the Eastern world is. Okay, so and also you can even look at the Middle East. They're also telling their people to buy gold as well. Okay, and they're also selling gold like in the CBI of Iraq and things of that nature now. Okay, so we can see that the trend is the Eastern world is educating their people on gold, and the Western world is not. Okay, and that's for a reason. That's on purpose. Um. Okay, so it says last week those suspicions were confirmed when Deutsche Bank, one of the largest, the world's leading, one of the largest banks, which is about to go, it looks like it's about to collapse, actually, which will start a domino effect of a lot of the banks. But anyways, Deutsche Bank, one of the world's leading financial institutions, not only admitted to regulators that they have been involved in it should be ratchet. They've been involved in ratchetness, but that they were prepared to turn over records, implicating many of their cohorts in a global scheme to suppress prices. Ain't that interesting? So we know for a fact that banks, including Deutsche Bank, which is one of the world's biggest banks, have been cohorting or cahooting, whatever you want to call it, with cohorts of other people and other banks to suppress the prices of gold and silver on purpose. Okay, and then when they do that, they then hire people on mainstream media to clown those people like Peter Schiff and those people like that. They clown them because on purpose. So they suppress the prices of silver and gold, and then they come out on mainstream media by hiring these puppets, and these puppets that are on Fox News, CNBC, and all these places are telling you not to buy gold and silver, don't get in gold and silver, and that's because these people, these banks, are suppressing it on purpose. So then when you see somebody like Peter Schiff come out and talk about how gold is going to 3,000 plus, and then they have analysts to talk to him and laugh at him and make him look stupid. Right? That's on purpose because they're hired by these bankers to make the Western world believe that gold and silver are not currencies, or that are not, they're not going anywhere. But as you see here, they finally came out and said, well, no, we're lying to the people. We are the ones suppressing the price of gold and silver. Ain't that something? Now we've been talking about this for a long time. And people will say, well, nothing's going to happen between gold and silver. Well, now you know why nothing has been happening. Bankers have been suppressing the gold and silver. Now that we know that they're coming out and saying that they're doing this, what do you think is going to happen to the gold and silver prices? It's going to skyrocket here someday soon. Okay, especially in this reset. I believe in the reset, they're going to set the price of silver at 3,000. It might not be. They might change their mind and set it at 1,700, 1,800, 2,200, whatever the case may be. It's going to be a lot more expensive than it is right now. Matter of fact, 12 months from now, maybe April 2017, I expect gold to be at 3,000 easily. Okay, so between now and next year, around this same time, I expect to be, if I'm on YouTube still and not censored, I expect to gold to be at 3,000 easily. Okay, and I expect the U.S. dollar to be around 70, 65, 70. Okay, compared to where it's at now, which is like what, 94, 95. Okay, so that's a big drop, right? So yeah, so and I also expect silver to start to rise, right, as well. So silver should be at least 50 plus bucks or more by this time next year, if they let it breathe. Okay, let it breathe and let it do its thing, because it shouldn't be this cheap. Silver should not be as cheap as it is right now. I'm thinking, what is it, $14 an ounce or something like that? It shouldn't be that cheap. It should be at 50 bucks easily right now. So I think that is it. But I want to continue to lay the importance of this, because this is Deutsche Bank and they're falling. And the reason why they're saying that they're manipulating all these prices and stuff is because they're falling. Deutsche Bank is collapsing. Okay, and it's going to, once they finally collapse, it's going to collapse a lot of other banks that are underneath it, or that do partnerships with them, or that were scheming to suppress the prices of gold with them. Okay, so make sure you do your research on the banks that you are in, because if they're part of this Deutsche Bank scheme stuff, they might go under as well. Okay, so you want to be clear of those banks. Remember, I think yesterday I told you guys some of the banks that I thought were going to be good. Capital One, I think Capital One's going to be able to survive. This is my opinion. Capital One, Wells Fargo, and maybe a few credit unions, and maybe Citi. I like Citibank, but maybe they might get through. But a lot of other banks are going under, so watch out for that. Make sure you're not in a bank that's going to be going under, because they're going to take your money with you. So if they revalue these currencies for you guys, okay, and you get your humanitarian funding and you put your money in a bank that's going under, yeah, you might want to rethink that, right? Because if that bank goes under, you're not going to see any money. You're not getting any of your money out of that bank, okay? So, and that's one of the traps that they're going to try to use, right? So they're gonna revalue these currencies, and they're gonna give us the humanitarian fundings, and then you're gonna be putting your money. They know that all these people are gonna be putting their money into the banks, and then they're gonna collapse the banks, and your money is going to be in those banks. One of the reasons why I bring you BitGold. Now you can only do 100,000 in BitGold, but here's the thing: you can take that 100,000 you can take some of that money out into liquid. Okay, I mean into physical gold and silver. Okay, so you can take physical gold and silver and then put another 100,000 in there. Okay, so I'm out. Peace.